Hello and welcome to Crypto Novos News, where we bring you the top news stories of the day in the world of crypto. Today is February 16th, 2021, and yes, Litecoin is in the news because it is seeing some very positive price action to the upside. So let's take a look and see what is happening with Litecoin. But first, let's give a shout out to Faith Finance. Remember, live faithfully today, live abundantly tomorrow. Faith Finance helps you manage your personal finances using biblical principles. They can be found at faithfinance.org. Okay, so back to Litecoin. What essentially is happening is Litecoin has actually passed a level of resistance at $170 and is approaching a new level of resistance at $228. And the value of this really goes back to what happened back in 2017 when Charlie Lee basically sold his LTC, all of his LTC. And this really wasn't received very well by the Litecoin community or the crypto market at large. But back in 2018, he did make a tweet where he said, I sold because LTC, by holding LTC, it made a situation where I may do something to pump the value short term, but is bad for the long-term success of the coin. I didn't want that conflict. As I've explained many times, if you don't understand, well, I can't help you. So essentially what he was saying is, I sold because I didn't want a conflict of interest. Well, quite frankly, the market had a hard time believing that. And as a result, I think the price of Litecoin has suffered and hasn't recovered quite as quickly. But what essentially is happening right now is Litecoin is seeing some very good positive price action. And this is what's happening here. A recent adoption from financial companies has been trickling down to retail investors. Litecoin has been on a bull run since September with gains of over 350%, though it's been struggling to get past a critical resistance at $170 until just recently. It is now breaking above this key level and riding the bull market to the next level of resistance at 228. So let's take a quick look at TradingView. Then we can see a price chart here where back in October, it was actually around $46. It has risen all the way up to $230. We can kind of see where it's had really two good rises in that time frame, and the most recent being very parabolic in nature, which is very positive. It's hovering around $209 right now. So we're very, very close to that 228 level. It has wicked past it, but it is obviously clearly showing some resistance at 220 presently. So the whole point behind this is that this is kind of redeeming the coin's value. And in fact, right here from the Litecoin Foundation project director, David Schwartz, the following statement was made. The original sin of Lee came to a closing after last weekend's when the Litecoin Foundation project director, David Schwartz, offered a tweet in public redemption, basically pointing out that Lee sold his LTC at an average of $205 per coin, and yet we have now surpassed that, so therefore everything should be fine. Well, let's see if in fact it does happen that way. The next big news is for Litecoin is in fact that the Flare network is reaching out and they are going to formulate a token in relationship to Litecoin and partner with them, which this came out on the Flare Network blog, where they announced their LTC integration. And what this essentially does is it offers the ability for Litecoin to have smart contract capabilities on the Ethereum network, if you will. So if we take a look down here towards the bottom of this, where they kind of give you a little bit more details, essentially, as it states in this paragraph here, as first movers after XRP and supporting Flare, a pool of 5 billion Flare tokens is being dedicated to the Litecoin participants. This is intended to incentivize community engagement with Flare and the building of the applications on Flare that use FLTC and to widen the circle of Flare token ownership. The 5 billion Flare pool does not increase the amount of Flare coming into existence, but rather they are redirected from the amount that would be accruing to the Flare Foundation. So for those of you that are interested in the Flare token, and I think this would be important to you guys in terms of their partnerships, And I hope they continue to select good quality projects to be a part of so that their tokens can be as valuable as possible. But let's continue to see what kind of progress this will do for Flare and for Litecoin. So that's kind of sums it up for today's little quick news item. I hope things are going well for you guys. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. And remember, this is Crypto Novos News, where newbies become masters.